I'm here to shoot some black and white photography. It's an overcast day, but you can almost see the patterns in the sky. And I really hope that this brings me more subscribers, because I don't know what else I can do. I don't know why it took like 3 or 4 different takes to explain this. That's not bad. That's actually really good. Exactly how I wanted. Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Oh man, today the weather is absolutely cloudy. It's an overcast, and I'm here to shoot some black and white photography. I mean, when there's an overcast, many of you might think that it's not a good time to shoot something, but it's actually, on the contrary, quite nice to shoot black and white images, especially when you like minimalist photography like I do. Then an overcast day is a perfect opportunity because no clouds, white skies, white seawater reflecting all the white skies, and you know, especially when you do a long exposure, it looks absolutely beautiful. So I'm here to do that. All right, so I've got my first composition. I don't know if you can see it from that camera, but there's a small red, some kind of lighthouse or some kind of tower there. Yeah, the water line leads towards that red tower, which is really prominent. So I think this is gonna be a very simple shot. All right, so let's begin. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my polarizer to cut off the glare from the frontal element, which are these small pebbles and rocks right in front of me. And that gives me 50th of a second ISO 100 f11. Now, I thought about using my 10 stopper to make a long exposure, but then I realized the ripples here are too strong, and because it's quite windy, that's why I'm not wearing my cap. Now, because of that, if I focus on the rocks that's submerged and do a long exposure shot, say 20 seconds or 10 seconds, then these ripples will make some kind of motion blur above these focused rocks. And therefore, it's going to be all just hazy and not sharp, and you know. So it's meaningless to do that. Therefore, I'm going to use a fast shutter speed, which is 50th of a second. So ISO 100, f11, 50th of a second, 2-second timer, shot 1, and I'm going to focus on the middle ground, shot 2, and then shot 3, focus on the tower, man-made tower, which I don't know what it is. It's just red, some kind of attraction, I guess. And then now I'm gonna make one more image, just in case. But this time 125th of a second. Now that's because the ground here and the water here, even though they're reflecting the light from the sky, it's quite dark compared to the sky. But the sky is just, you know, it's an overcast day, but you can almost see the patterns in the sky. So I'm just, you know, using that fast shutter speed to capture all that patterns. So there we go. Now let me check the sharpness. Sharpness is good.
The S-shaped curve didn't come out as prominently as I had hoped. However, the rocks in the foreground turned out to be really eye-catching. Since we have a strong anchor, the absence of the S-shaped curve is no longer a problem. I also really love the moody sky in this image. The clouds almost look like smoke above the darkened red tower.
Alright, so I hope you guys liked that shot. Now that we're done here, let's move a little bit closer to that man-made tower and see what we can find. Alright, Let's go. So, you know, this series, this photography trip to Sokcho or Gangwon province, I think it's going very well so far. I normally make 3 videos on one trip, but this time this is the 4th one, so it's good. I think it's good. I'm being very productive, and I really hope that this brings me more subscribers, because I don't know what else I can do other than YouTube, to be honest. I'm living my dream life. I'm doing whatever I'm good at doing, and yeah, I'm just trying my best. So yeah, I'm happy, but I really need to monetize my channel. So if you're watching this and if you like my content, then please subscribe. Thank you. All right, so we've got our second composition right here. It's similar to the first composition, but it's a little bit different. So let me explain. You see the tower right there, probably here, yeah. So the first one was more about the pebbles and the rocks in the foreground and an S-shaped curve, you know, going towards the tower. But this time it's rather different, because we cannot see any pebbles or rocks because of the water is too deep and because of the ripples, but it's okay. But it's more about the right and left, the land mass coming in from the right and left, the sideways, and leading your eyes towards the red tower. Now, I positioned the red tower on the top third of the frame so that it's positioned where people's eyes can naturally go to. So I think this can be an image that's really easy to read. Yeah, that's my explanation. I don't know why it took like 3 or 4 different takes to explain this. All right, doesn't matter. Let's get to it. All right, so of course I've got my polarizer on to polarize my image. There we go. And I'm currently at ISO 100, f11 and 40th of a second. So focus on the closest point. But even though I focus on the closest point, which are the rocks and the pebbles underwater, it's not gonna get, you know, it's not gonna be sharp, because the ripples are just too strong, and they're making these like reflecting the light in some ways, and you know, making these patterns on the water. So it's gonna be more like a painting, to be honest, but still. And second shot, focus on the middle ground. There we go. And finally, the last focus on the red tower. And there we go. So let me check the sharpness. Oh man, it's so windy. All right, sharpness is good. Yeah, as I expected, it's kind of like painting-ish. So I think that can be a good, you know, interesting element if you think about it. So painting-ish foreground interest. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. So without further ado, here's my shot, final image. Not the final image of the day, the final processed image. Yeah.
This image turned out exactly as I had hoped. The 2 shorelines lead the eye toward the darkened red tower, and the textured foreground resembling watercolor paint makes me really satisfied. By adding a bit of vignetting, I tried to make the sky look as if it's hugging the tower.
All right, I hope you guys can hear me well, because the waves are crashing in right in front of me and it's kind of noisy. So my final composition, I think, of this episode is here. So of course the red tower, and this time I'm gonna capture the waves. So I'm going to need my polarizer, of course. Now, the top third of the scene will be the sky and the red tower, and the bottom third of this scene will be this waves crashing in with white foam. So I'm going to need my shutter release. There we go. To capture that exact moment. There we go. All right, so I've attached my shutter release and my polarizer. Now I'm gonna use my 6-stopper to make a slight long exposure of the waves. So that gives me 1.3 seconds, which is enough. And first focus on the waves, waiting for the perfect wave to come in. There we go. All right, let's check. Yeah, that's not bad. That's actually really good. Exactly how I want it. All the wave patterns, motion blurred, and oh, it's beautiful. All right, that's it. This is very simple and easy. And next, I'm gonna focus on the middle ground. This is just to ensure that I capture something focused on the middle part, because I don't think I'm gonna use this middle ground shot, but you never know, you might need it. But I think for this shot, it's mostly just the foreground and the far objects, so 2 shots should be enough. But still, insurance. All right, again, ISO 100, f11, 1.3 seconds. Focus on the tower this time, and there we go.
As I predicted, I didn't really need the shot focused on the middle ground, since the waves become blurry under long exposure anyway. From the pebbles in the foreground to the white shoreline, I really like the seascape vibe this image gives. And of course, the prominent tower is a bonus.
So alright guys, that's for today. Now, even though in the start of the video I said this is going to be a black and white video, at the moment I'm not really sure, because I always change my mind. That's a problem of mine. Alright, so thanks for watching as always, and don't forget to subscribe. If you like this video, press the like button. If you didn't like this video, then press the dislike button twice, and see you next time. Cheers guys, bye bye.